Hi, this is Stacia, and today we're going to look at a training game that I played on chess.com. Still fighting to get to 1800. It's been a few bumps in the road, but that's to be expected, and it's all good as long as we learn. So this game I faced somebody rated 1620 on chess.com, and I got the white pieces, and I was rated 1691. So definitely looking to cross 1700, but not sure if my opponent's rated high enough for that to happen. Like, maybe a win won't get me enough points to break 1700. But nonetheless, in the opening, I played bishop to c4 here, the Italian game, and he went bishop c5. Here, I love this move, b4, Evans Gambit. And so he did take the pawn, and c3 now attacks the bishop with tempo, and the idea is we are going to build our center this way with tempo, and maybe even use the b file, or at least maybe have this bishop a3 resource as a result. Okay, so bishop a5, this is the main move, and I played d4. Okay, so this is all normal so far. Now, usually they take the pawn, but my opponent played d6. So it's kind of out of book at this point, sadly. I should probably know this still. Usually they take, and then you cannot take back due to the pin, so you've got to castle. And then they usually play something like knight f6 or knight e7 or something like that, and it goes on from there. So in this game, he played d6, so a more solid move. And I guess saying that if I want to take on e5, he's okay with that. Now, I have no idea what theory is, but I castled. And this is one thing I don't like about playing on chess.com, is that in the, it has like this little area to the right. Maybe I have to use focus mode. But I looked around and I saw that it said like slow Evans Gambit slow variation, and that just kind of gives me information. It does, because I'm like, oh, I'm playing the slow way. I didn't know if this is the main line or what. So actually, let's take a look at this for a minute. I always like to learn something new in the opening when I analyze my games. So queen b3 is a move here. Yeah, I don't know. Why didn't I consider queen b3? Yeah, if queen b3, knight a6 doesn't work, and if queen b3, he would have to try queen e7 or queen d7. Probably queen e7. Both of them have drawbacks for sure. If the queen goes to e7, I feel like you might get hit by bishop a3, or even just pin the pawn, and it just seems problematic. But if you put the queen on d7, it blocks your bishop. Probably that's the right move. All right, so let's look. Queen b3. Yeah, queen d7 is the move. Now, I vaguely recall that my coach told me that queen e7 loses, so I actually want to check and see if that's true. No, it does not, but it does look... It looks definitely iffy. So the computer wants to play d5 here. Oh, queen e4 check, right? Is that the idea? If we go here, it says knight to d4. Well, that sacrifices material. Does it not? No, it doesn't. The pawn's still pinned. Look at that. Okay. I didn't know about this line, so I would have to take with a knight. And if he takes back, don't I have queen e4 check? It says bishop d7, and if I take, this looks good, right? No, it's not, because now he takes on e4. And I have to play king d1 apparently. I would definitely not want to play that move. So what's the problem? I can't go king f1? No, because queen c2. And if I go bishop d2, oh, maybe queen b2 now. Well, there's queen d1 check. And queen b2. Yeah, clearly black is invading with their queen. I'm still a little skeptical of this, but the computer says black's just winning. So, well, they are one step away from castling. If they weren't, I would still wonder. But yeah, okay, black's winning. Okay, so we looked at something. I like to do that. You guys know I do. So, I did not play queen to b3. I played castles. And here my opponent played bishop to g4. Unusual looking move. Now, when I see this move, you know, sometimes they call this the bad pin, because especially with a bishop on c4, you can sometimes sacrifice, you know, and then check and win the bishop. But I don't think that works here, and I'll tell you why. I decided against it because I thought check, and he can take, I thought, because if I go check, queen takes knight is actually working for black. So if I try to take the queen, they take my queen. So now I just lost material. And if I take here, it's actually defended by the queen now. Isn't that sad? So it doesn't work. This used to happen in the King's Gambit all the time. So I'm no stranger to this tactic. So I don't think I can do that. So the question is, what's the right move? I decided to take on e5, and I'll tell you why. I'm better developed than black, so a more open position should favor me. The other reason, though, is if he does take with a knight, and this is where my flashcards help, because this idea that I use now is from a flashcard. It was for playing e5 and e5 push, not a pawn capture on e5, but the ideas are the same. The idea is I want to distract this knight so that this diagonal is open, and then I have a check. And so the knight is currently guarding the bishop and blocking the diagonal at the same time. If this knight moves away, that's neither of those things are true, and queen a4 check becomes potentially winning. Maybe there's sometimes ways out of it still. So I thought, you know, taking here, if he takes with a pawn, I almost have bishop takes f7 there, but the rook is guarding the queen. I would actually be thinking about this too. Takes, and take the queen, but it's defended by the rook, so that's not going to work. But anyway, there's a lot of little ideas here, and I just thought taking them makes them all come to life a little more. I also thought about playing d5, but I'll tell you why I did not. Because after d5 and knight d7, if I check now, I thought he could go here. And the queen's defending the bishop. All right, I'll just turn on the engine and make sure I'm right. Yep, I'm right. Was that the best move? Yep, c6. Okay, well, I'm kind of happy to see that I'm calculating a little more accurately, but these are all familiar ideas still. Okay, so in the game this happened. I took with a pawn, he took with a knight. Now my idea in this case was queen a4 check, but not because I thought I was going to win the bishop. The reason I want to play this is to get out of the pin. I don't want to be in this pin. And then after I check, I thought probably c6, and then I could take the knight if I want to, which I probably do want to. So we'll see if the computer agrees, seems to agree. c6 and knight takes. Wow, so I actually played this right, so I'm happy to see that. Now I thought black should take with a pawn. I'm going to turn the engine back off. Okay, and here we have a position. Black is still underdeveloped. This bishop is actually kind of annoying. Now I could play f3 if I want to, but I think the bishop kind of wants to come back. Probably they shouldn't go to e6 yet, but the other thing in the position is I'm about to get pawn forked. Now I would certainly take on f7 if that happens, so I'm at least going to get some compensation, but I don't know how much. And okay, well, what to do here? The other thing I want to do is develop, right? So what did I do? I kind of forget. Oh, I played queen b3. Okay, this is what I call a Paul Morphy move, and all my students call it that now too, which is hilarious because of the queen b3 in the opera game. So I'm saying that I don't want to develop, it's too slow. I'm going to put pressure on f7, and I thought it's kind of hard to meet. So queen b3, and I thought if he goes here, I could actually take off the knight, you know? I could take that, and then this is horrible. So he can't do that, and he can't castle. And if he goes here, this also looks bad. Like I would take it, certainly. So I don't think that's the way to go either. So it turns out that black doesn't have a lot of great options. Maybe queen f6 is the best. That's actually what I thought during the game. I thought queen f6, and then I thought bishop a3, and I could stop him from castling. Could be annoying. He'd probably castle queenside though. So let's see what the computer says about this queen b3 move. Wow, it's like, it's definitely one of the top choices. That's kind of cool. But it says white's better in this position. Or no, it says black is better in the position. It also likes h3 and queen c2. Okay. Queen c2 stepping out of the pawn fork and guarding our pawn. Now that's certainly a slower move, and if you play that, you are going to be worse, you know? So I actually like queen b3 the best. h3 probably with the idea of something. I thought, okay, computer wants bishop h5 and then g4. Wow. And then rook d1. Oh, okay. So the computer wanted to play rook d1, so it was willing to make some holes on the king side to make that happen. And then it says queen c7, black's still totally fine here, and even a little better. Basically says I have no compensation for a pawn. So that's pretty interesting. But the computer often says that, and okay, with best defense, you don't have compensation for a pawn. But not many people play that. All right. So we'll go with queen b3. I'm happy with this one. And he did play queen to e7. Now, actually, I thought queen f6 might be the move. So let's look at this for a minute. It says no because I take the pawn. Oh. Yeah, I would take that pawn. I forgot about that. So, queen e7. Okay, and this seems like a reasonable move, except for I thought here I could play bishop to a3. That was my plan, right? Like, this is a classic Evans Gambit move, and it's going to hit that queen and stop black from castling on the king side. and help me develop. So it looks very good to me. So I played it. So he probably needs to move now. Now, like the computer pointed out, Queen f6, I take on b7, I'm on the rook, and looks pretty awful. So I think he has to do something else. Yeah, and I saw this move during the game. Turn the engine off. I was actually hoping he would play this move c5 because guess what? An old trick comes back to life. If c5, I can play queen a4 check now. And there is no c6 this time. This time it really is a fork. I'm going to win material. So that's unfortunate. So I thought I was probably winning now because I'm winning material. Let's see what the computer says. It says plus 0.3, or it says plus 3. So turns out it was correct. And well, I don't agree with this, but my opponent did resign here. So I think he should play on. I am not good at converting games. It would make me nervous if you played on and made like some good moves and some complicated moves. It would make me nervous and maybe I'd mess up. So I think it's way premature to resign in this position. But okay, let's just go through the computer's key moments now and see what it says. Always fun to do. See if my analysis makes any sense. It says castles was the last book move, although next time I'll probably go queen b3. Now it just says game summary. Oh, okay. It's going. Okay, queen f4 check, it says. It just says nothing. Wow. All right, and in the report, it says I played with 89.0% accuracy. My opponent played with 52% accuracy. I had 1 inaccuracy and no mistakes, no blunders. Cool. So I played better than I thought, that's for sure. And my opponent had only 1 mistake. Yeah, and it was c5, I'm sure of it. c5 was a mistake, I thought. So probably my only inaccuracy was castles. Is that true? If I had to guess, that was, or maybe queen b3. Although I like both moves. So let's see. I can click on the inaccuracy, I think. Wow, it was this move. It doesn't like taking on e5. So let's look at this last thing before I turn it in. It doesn't like taking on e5. I mean, it's certainly a complicated move. That's part of why I liked it. But the computer actually says queen a4 is full compensation for a pawn. Wow. Queen a4. Yeah, I didn't even consider this move. I think the idea, I considered bishop e5 because the idea is e5 and the knight is pinned. I did not consider queen a4, so that's kind of cool. And now that I look at it, what a cool move. Because this move makes, is going to make black really nervous and probably move their bishop back. Because I am threatening to go e5. So the knight is pinned. How are they supposed to stop this? They could take the knight first. This would wreck my pawns. Probably have to take that. I really doubt I could go e5. Or d5, I mean. Seems too crazy to allow this. Yeah, because now, well, I could take this. It is kind of funny. If they take here, I do win this bishop, so I don't think that's right. So they probably have to go like b6. What a funny looking position, right? Just to defend the bishop. It says black is better here. This looks chaotic to me. I'm I'm definitely threatening. Why can't I just take an F7? You know, this is a discovery. Wow. So I think it's healthy to look at stuff like this, especially in the openings that you play. Like these middle game themes that I study for my own openings, guess what? I see them more, and they certainly become ideas in my games, if nothing else. It's good to have options in your chess games. So I actually want to look at this a little bit more though. Like what happens if I take with a pawn? Well, then it says E takes D4. Yeah, so I would have to do this to renew the threat. And then A6. So what's the point of A6? Oh, they're going to play B5, I think. Yeah, so D5. I think B5 is the answer. And, well, my queen's under attack. This would kind of be, it says queen A3. Well, now if they take here, I take here. Now the bishop has to move. Yeah, and well, interesting way to play. So I guess, I mean, is queen A4 like deliberately going into this? Because if it is, I'm not sure I love it. Like queen A4. Okay, if they do this, I pretty much gotta take, right? And then they pretty much should take on D4. Is there anything else they could do? Yeah, and here A6 is the move. A6. So A6 meets D5. I do it anyway. Yeah, there's really, this is all forced. So the computer is like willing to go into this. But then in this position, it says, you know, after B5, black is minus 1.1. So a little bit better. So yeah, I'll keep queen A4 as an idea, but if I see this defense to queen A4, I don't think I'll play this way. So okay, nice little Evans Gambit. I might play one more game. Well, it is late here, and I do have to get up early, so that's probably it. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Of course, I'll be back with more. See you later. Have a great night. Bye.